Hey there, today I want to share a little trick that completely revolutionized how I improve my music, and it's called listening to my own tracks like a stranger. Now I know it sounds obvious, right? Like, of course you listen to your own music, but I don't mean casually listening, vibing to it like, yeah, this is fire. I mean listening to it with fresh ears, as if you're listening to it for the first time from someone else and thinking, would I actually like this song, or would I be skipping to the next song faster than my free Spotify trial expired? Stick around because I'm going to show you a way that helps me trick my brain into thinking that I'm hearing my music for the first time. So why bother listening to your music like a stranger? I mean, you wrote it. You know it's good, right? Well, not so fast. As composers, we get way too close to our tracks. We obsess over every detail, every riff, every snare hit, every tiny string squeak, until we can't tell if it's genius or garbage anymore. But here's the thing. Listeners don't hear music the same way we do. They're not analyzing every note. They're feeling the overall vibe. And they're deciding if a song flows, if it's engaging, or if it's meh. And when you step back and hear the track the way they do, suddenly all those little quirks you obsessed over either make sense or need to go straight into the recycle bin. So here's my secret weapon. I use either Dropbox or Google Drive. I upload my song or my drafts so that I can listen to them outside my studio. I can listen to them when I'm on a walk, or I'm in the car, or I'm folding laundry, anywhere that makes you feel like a regular listener. Changing your environment does something. It makes your brain stop obsessing over the tiny details and start hearing the song as a whole. And trust me, nothing screams, fix this transition, like listening to your song while you're stuck in traffic. So while you're listening, ask yourself, does this song flow naturally? Does each section feel like it belongs? Or does it sound like a bunch of random riffs speed dating? So if something feels off, take a mental note, or better yet, write it down. I use my phone as well. Then ask yourself, can you cut it, tweak it, maybe even replace it with something stronger? A smooth flow can make or break your track, so don't let clunky transitions trip you or your listeners up. Now let's talk about engagement. As you listen, ask yourself, am I into this? Or does it start to drag? Are there parts that feel repetitive? Maybe a section is so complicated it sounds like you're trying to win a guitar Olympics. Listeners want variety, but they also need breathing room. So if your song feels like it's running a marathon without water breaks, try adding some dynamics, a pause, a slower section, or even just stripping it down a bit. Keeping things interesting, but just like your eggs, don't overcook it. And let's not forget the emotional side of things. Does your song feel like anything? Instrumental music doesn't have lyrics to spell it out. So emotion has to come from the melody, the dynamics, the vibe. If the emotion isn't landing, think about what might help. Maybe it's a more expressive solo, or a tempo adjustment, or just turning up that reverb to give it some extra mood. Whatever it takes to get that listener feeling something other than feeling like hitting the next button. Finally, give yourself time. Step away from the track, let it breathe, and come back to it later. It's like reheating leftovers. Sometimes it just tastes better the next day. When you give yourself space, you're less attached to the parts that don't work, and you're more open to making changes the song needs. So the next time you're working on a track, try listening back to it as if you were someone else hearing it for the first time. Focus on flow, engagement, and emotion. And don't be afraid to tweak or toss anything that's not working. And hey, do you have your own tricks for stepping back from your music and listening to them with fresh ears? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear what you do. I'm always open to a new perspective. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. I'll see you in the next one.